different color for command and output. I was wondering if it is possible to change the color of the output of a command in Linux to a different color than that of the command line where I type in. It is so monotonous and hard to find where the output starts. Like. Thanks.
You can pass the output to a program which does the coloring. For example, there are programs like PyColor. To build your own. More on color output.
Not really. The color of a given program's output is controlled by the command, not by the terminal. That said, assuming your terminal understands ANSI escape codes for color, and most do, you could use escape codes to set your desired prompt color at the beginning of the prompt, and your desired output color at the end. This would result in your command lines also being in whatever color you set for output, but that's probably about as close as you're going to get to what you're looking for. For example, the following will give you a prompt that looks like, with a user and a host in purple, WD, or your CWD, in brown, or dark yellow, and everything after the $, in whatever your terminal uses for light blue. A default extern will render this in cyan. GNOME terminal seems to default to a rather nice shade of cornflower blue. The actual color code, as specified in the necessary format for bash, is example \\0330035m where 0035 is the actual color specification. The leading 00 rarely changes, but can produce IRC bold, +01, underline, and reverse video effects, while the trailing 35 is the actual color, which in this case is purple. It's surprisingly hard to find a decent list of ANSI color codes, but foreground colors run from 30 through 37, and background ones from 40 through 47, as follows. Do keep in mind that, since you're setting a default color for everything that follows your prompt, programs you run which don't set their own colors via escape codes are going to take that color. For example, if you run a pager, you're likely to see its output in the same color you've set for other commands. Meanwhile, commands which do set their own colors via escape codes will ignore your efforts entirely.
Yes, I have this working for Bash, on Linux and Mac OS at least. First, set some attribute variables, and the PS1 prompt to leave the terminal set with the desired command line attributes, for example. Then, use the bash debug trap, which gets executed just before every command, to change text attributes for command output.
Another alternative, on a command-by-command basis, is GRC Generic Colorizer. It takes a bit of work to set up the regular expressions that it uses to colorize things. I found out about it here. This URL. And here. This URL. I'm not a flash with regexes, so I haven't worked with these commands much. Throw these into your .bashrc file and then source the file after saving. Once this is done, you can then use any of these in your terminal permanently or until you either comment the variables out or delete them completely. You can use them in scripts on your machine or with command substitution or whatever. Here is a following example of how I use them personally. I usually use these with individual echo and or printf commands, but you can use them to colorize other commands as well, such as the ping command. Add the following to .bashrc to get the effects. Then source your .bashrc file and run the ping command to use ping with purple text. You can set each command function to use any color your terminal supports. Then try. Your output for ping will be purple. If you want to use multiple colors in the same output, you can add them in with unique ways. How you do it is completely up to you. For example,